Hello and welcome to an algebra tutorial video learning how to solve linear system word problems and kind of recognizing how to set up the system, define your variables, and then choose the right method to solve it. All right, let's take a look at this problem. Emma has been collecting quarters and dimes for the past year and decided to cash them in at the bank to see how much she had. After depositing them into the counting machine, it was determined that she had turned in 253 coins for a total of $42.55. How many quarters and how many dimes had she collected? Okay, so let's figure out what is it that we're trying to find. Well, the question at the very end there, how many quarters and how many dimes, that's always where I like to start. I like to define what my variables are. What am I trying to find? So let's make x equal the number of quarters. And we'll let y equal the number of dimes. Okay, now based on that, now I can start to re-look over what I have in my problem in terms of variables, numbers of quarters, numbers of dimes. All right, what am I given here? I know that depositing in the counting machine, we have a total of 253 coins, and she made a total of $42.55 off of those coins. Those are the only numbers I'm given. But that's actually enough here. So let's start writing out my system. So knowing that I have a total of 253 coins, I also know that x and y represent how many quarters and how many dimes I have. So the first equation I've got is just simply if I take the number of quarters and add that to the number of dimes, well, the total was 253. That's how many quarters and dimes that she turned in. All right, so one equation is all done. I've related x and y together. The other one is another total. I know something totals up to $42.55. Well, here's where I got to use the fact that each dime is worth 10 cents and each quarter is worth 25 cents. So when I have X number of quarters, that tells me how many quarters I have, but if I multiply them all by 0.25, that tells me how much money all those quarters are worth. So if I have a total of $42.55, well, I'm going to do 25 cents for each quarter, so 25 cents times X, plus 10 cents, put a zero there, let me rewrite that a little better, plus 10 cents for each dime, so 10 cents times y, that has to total up to $42.55. So in this problem, it's kind of assumed you know that a quarter is 25 cents, a dime is 10 cents, and you're applying that to set up the problem correctly. So here we have one equation that relates how many coins with that total, and we have another equation that relates the total amount of money. So if you're looking for equations, being able to recognize that you have a total of something, and so other stuff has to add up to make that total, makes it a lot more helpful to notice. Okay, let's actually solve this thing out now. This particular problem, I've got x and y. It'd be really easy to rearrange this. I'm going to rewrite that equation as x equals 253 minus y, and I'm going to just use substitution. Let's substitute 253 minus y in for x right here, and then solve the problem out. All right, so we got 25 cents. Let's substitute 253 minus y into the equation for x plus 10 cents times y equals $42.55. Let's do some algebra now and solve this thing out. I'm going to distribute. So let's distribute the 0.25. 0.25 times 253 is $63.25. And distribute the 0.25 there, minus 0.25y plus 0.10y equals 42.55. All right, good distributing. Now let's combine like terms. Negative 0.25y plus 0.10y is going to give me 63.25 minus 0.15y. Those two combine together, but I got a negative value there. And that's going to equal 42.55. Okay, now let's subtract 63.25 from both sides. We're going to start to solve for that y value, 63.25. Now we've got negative 0.15y is equal to 42.55 minus 63.25, and we get negative 20.7. All right, for my very last step now, I can divide both sides by negative 0.15. And we get, ta-da! I get a value x equals 138. Exactly. All right. So what do we just find out? Well, if x equals number of quarters, good thing I defined my variables because I just found that there are 138 quarters. All right, now let's find out how many dimes. I'm going to use this first equation. It's the easiest one. If I have 138 in for x plus y number of dimes equals 253, then I just need to take 253, subtract 138, and we get y equals 115. So let's answer the question. How many quarters and dimes had she collected? She collected 138 quarters and 115 dimes. All right, there we go. Problem solved.